Today we're going deep into two absolute mass monsters from the powerhouse era of bodybuilding, two athletes who, in different ways, show what happens when size, strength, elite genetics, and work ethic collide. In the golden era of mass monster bodybuilding, two German titans stand out for their sheer size, power, and stage presence, Markus Rühl and Günter Schlierkamp. Their careers overlapped in the late 1990s through the 2000s, a time when the sport shifted significantly toward overwhelming mass, brute thickness, and visual shock value. This article dives deep into their competition histories, physiques, training philosophies, and then compares how these two athletes embodied different versions of freaky mass and conditioning. Markus Rühl. Early life and entry into bodybuilding. Born on February 22, 1972 in Darmstadt, Germany. He began serious training around age 18 after a knee injury from playing soccer necessitated strength training. He progressed quickly. After 4 years of heavy training, he moved from 60 kg to 100 kg in amateur context. In 1997, he won the German national championships and earned his IFBB pro card. Physical characteristics and freak status. Height, 1.78 meters, 5 feet 10 inches. Contest weight peaked in the 270 pounds, 122 kg, range. Off-season weights reportedly went higher. Massive measurements: chest reportedly 60, 152 centimeters, in his prime, arms around 24, 61 centimeters, in off-season. His physique emphasized sheer size, extreme thickness, full muscle bellies. One commentary: his physique embodied the freak era of bodybuilding, extreme mass, brutal training intensity, and shock value on stage. Competition history highlights. 2000, won the Toronto Pro Invitational. 2002, won the Night of Champions. Best Mr. Olympia result, 5th place in 2004. He competed professionally until around 2010. Style and legacy. Markus's training and physique were built around volume and heavy weights, dedicated focus on each muscle group, intense workouts, and a goal of maximal size rather than classical aesthetics. His legacy: one of the most iconic mass monsters, especially in Europe, and a standard by which many heavyweights judge sheer girth and thickness. Günter Schlierkamp, the gentle giant. Early life and entry into bodybuilding. Born February 2, 1970 in Olfen, North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany. Built a massive frame, reported contest weight 295-300 lbs, 133 to 136 kilograms, and off-season weights even higher, 325-330 lbs. Physical characteristics and status. Height, about 6'1", 185.5 centimeters, some sources still approximate. His size and presence made him stand out even among other mass monsters. He was part of the era when monsters were getting bigger, and he controlled a wide, commanding frame. Competition history highlights. Early wins: 1990 German Championships, Junior Tall Overall, and 1992 European Amateur Championships. 2002, won the GNC Show of Strength, defeating the then dominant Ronnie Coleman. Mr. Olympia, 4th place in 2005. Style and legacy. Günter's style combined massive size with credible conditioning and a strong stage presence. His nickname, the Gentle Giant, reflects his approachable personality but savage size. He trained intensely, focusing each muscle group and putting up numbers. His legacy: one of German bodybuilding's greatest exports and a representation of large frame mass with class. Comparison: Markus Rühl vs. Günter Schlierkamp. Physical size and frame. Markus Rühl, shorter, 5'10" inch, extremely heavy for his height, designed for maximum over horizontal expansion, massive shoulders, chest, arms, and legs. Günter Schlierkamp, taller, 6'1", larger skeletal frame, sweeping quads and broad shoulders, making his size look even more commanding. Visual impact and style. Rühl emphasized shock factor, thick muscle bellies, huge traps, huge delts, maximum width and density. One reviewer remarked, "When you look at Rühl, you see the pinnacle of mass. The goal was to be the biggest." Schlierkamp emphasized size and presence. While he may have lacked some of the ultra-detail or symmetry of the most aesthetic guys, his mass and conditioning were still elite. Many fans believe he was underjudged in major shows. Competition outcomes and recognition. Rühl won major pro shows, but never clinched the Mr. Olympia title. His best was 5th in 2004. He remains hugely respected for size. Schlierkamp also never won Mr. Olympia, though he did beat Coleman in the 2002 show of strength and had a strong top 5 showing in Olympia 2005. His competitive peak is sometimes considered underrated by fans. Training and approach. Both used heavy weights, high volume, and a focus on mass, but there are subtle distinctions. Rühl, 1 day per muscle training style, extremely high volume, focusing on adding girth. Schlierkamp also used frequent muscle group training, emphasized individual muscle attention and a large frame to bring out wide quads, back and shoulders. Legacy and influence. Rühl's influence, for anyone chasing maximum size, even at the cost of classical symmetry, he's a benchmark. He showed what massive men could do at 5'10 inch. Schlierkamp's influence, for those who want large frames and presence, his legacy shows how to combine width, height, mass and conditioning. Why 2 different versions of mass matter? These 2 athletes illustrate that freaky mass is not one size fits all. Shorter guy with ultra thickness, Rühl. Taller guy with wide sweep and heavy frame, Schlierkamp. Both achieved similar end goals, impressive, dominant physiques, via different body types and proportions. Why this era mattered? During the late 90s and early 2000s, bodybuilding shifted dramatically, mass monsters became celebrated. As one article noted, this era, the sport increasingly rewarded mass and conditioning. Rühl and Schlierkamp were part of that wave, pushing size and presence to levels that prior decades had rarely seen. Their competition history spans the major shows, Mr. Olympia, Arnold Classic, etc., and they demonstrated that genetics, work ethic, and willingness to push limits mattered hugely. When you study their careers, you see real examples of what relentless intensity meets elite genetics looks like. Size matters, but how you carry it matters. Rühl and Schlierkamp prove it. You can be big and imposing, but the frame, height, bone structure, influences how that size looks. Training must match your body type. If you're shorter and want thickness, heavier weights, and volume, a la Rühl, might suit. If you're taller, learning how to fill a wider frame, a la Schlierkamp, is key. Stage presence and conditioning count. Neither of them won Mr. Olympia, but they are legendary. So the pursuit isn't just wins, it's building something memorable. Different paths lead to the same goal. Whether you chase maximum density or maximum width, the core is the same: train hard, progress volume/weight, recover, refine. In the annals of bodybuilding, Markus Rühl and Günter Schlierkamp stand as 2 differing yet aligned pillars of the mass monster era. Rühl brought sheer thickness, raw power, and a compact frame built for maximum impact. Schlierkamp brought height, sweeping quads, a wide canvas and dominant presence. They show that when size, strength, relentless intensity and elite genetics collide, the result is bodybuilding at its wildest and most memorable. For anyone looking to learn from their examples, don't copy blindly. Understand your body, pick your path, train hard, and build something that announces itself. Because these athletes weren't subtle, they were built to stand out and shake the stage.